at the time I was trying to do like drop shipping. Chiang Mai was like the hub for drop shipping. All the drop shippers was there. I tried it. I did drop shipping. To be honest, man, I tried every single thing you could do to try and make money online. Some worked, some didn't. Kind of led me to like, okay, let me just try and do MMA, which kind of just led me on to like doing YouTube and music. Hey, what's up? I'm Ocean, and this is One Night in Bangkok.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the One Night in Bangkok podcast. If you guys are new here, my name is Eric. I'm originally from Boston, USA. I've been here in Thailand for 5 years now, and on this channel, we're bringing you some of the best people from all around Bangkok. If you're coming to Thailand soon, if you're living here, hit the subscribe button. I've got a ton of interesting people coming up in the next few weeks, and I don't want you to miss anything. Also, if you are moving here, if you want tips about how to get set up here, how to get an apartment, how to get a bank account, where to go out at night, join our private Facebook group down below. I'll link that. And also, if you don't have time for the full 1 hour episodes every week, we have a new clips channel. So I will link that down below. It's just got some fun 5 or 10 minute clips that we're putting out almost every day. So you can check that out again down below. Lastly, if you enjoy the show, if you like having fun with us, then buy us a coffee, buy us a drink at the link below. We love putting on these shows and we appreciate your support. Tonight, we have an interesting guy that a few people have recommended I check out. So I reached out to him. Can you introduce yourself and give us some quick background on who you are and where you're from?
Yeah, sure. I'm Ocean. I'm from London, UK. I've been living in Bangkok for like 6 months now, but I used to live in Thailand a long time ago. And I do music. I'm a music producer and I'm a YouTuber.
Cool. And when you say you do music, what kind of music do you do?
So originally, I'll say most people know me for making drill trap beats for artists and doing YouTube. But just this year, I've been transitioning more into like a techno house DJ.
So I got to be honest, the first time someone mentioned you, because we get these DMs all the time, like, oh, you should check out this guy. You should check out my friend. He does this, he does that. And they said, oh, you're a music producer. But, you know, when someone says, oh, my friend is a music producer, I don't want to say I don't take them seriously, but I kind of didn't take them seriously. And that's my fault. But I did follow you because when someone suggests someone, I usually follow that person for a while just to kind of see what they're up to.
Yeah.
And so I saw you a little bit more, and then a second person brought you up. So that's when I really started to check you out.
Yeah.
How long have you been producing music?
Maybe about 8 or 9 years now.
Really? That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm surprised because I know people that have been working on a music career for 20 years, 30 years, and they're not 10% of, you know, what you've got now.
I got to be honest, I started kind of late in terms of music.
Yeah. How old are you? If you
I'm
don't mind
29 now.
Okay.
Yeah. And I started when I was like 20.
Okay. And what got you into music? Was it someone else that you saw or was it from a young age?
In a nutshell, I always kind of wanted to do music, but just pushed it to the side. And I went on like a full circle journey to come back to music. But the moment where I decided to do music, I thought I was actually going to be an MMA fighter. So I was training like MMA every single day. But in between the sessions, you have time. So in the sessions when I'm just healing, resting, I start listening to music and I'm just like, I think I could make this. Downloaded the software, made a beat, and I was like, nah, this is it. Let me try this.
What was that first software you downloaded?
Logic Pro.
Oh, you went straight to Logic.
Yeah,
because I hear
Mac.
A lot of times people download like Fruity Loops or so. I don't even know if that's still a thing, but
oh yeah, FL is really, really popular, but at the time it wasn't really compatible with Mac.
Yeah.
So I just went straight to Logic.
Cool. And you were just doing it for fun to start out, but what was the jump off point where you thought like, oh, I could maybe make this a career, or I could make some money from
honestly.
this? Really?
I'm going to be real with you. As soon as I decided, it's like, no, this is it. I'm going all in. There was no like, oh, I'm just going to do this on the side. For me, it was just like, blinders on, let's go.
Wow. So then, you know, so many people want to make music or have some sort of music career. But in your opinion, what is it that sets the people apart that can make it a job and the people that will never get to that point?
I think the first thing is intention, because if you decide and you just put your foot one foot in front of the other every single day, something can happen. Maybe it's not like the career you maybe envisioned. Maybe you're not going to be as big as Drake, but maybe you can make a living doing music in some way.
Yeah. So would you consider yourself, and I'm not sure the best way to phrase this, but do you want to be an artist that people recognize, or do you want to be someone that creates or produces for other people?
So I started out with that. That was my goal, just to make hit records, sit in the background, just produce for people. But I've made the shift now where it's like, actually, I just want to make the music and just kind of have my own vision, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, you're actually the second musical guest we've had. The first one was Bottom G, and I just am thinking like, you guys could not be more different. That's really funny. Do you know who Bottom G is?
He's the guy that went super viral for the dance.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
And I think he was living, because you mentioned you live somewhere around Asok. And that would just be hilarious if you lived in the same building, because
Maybe.
yeah.
I haven't seen him around
future collab, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and you're obviously from the UK, right? What city?
London.
London. Yeah, you've got that very
London
crisp
accent.
Yes.
I bet that's popular with the girls, no?
In America, yeah.
I was just going to say, maybe that's just an American thing. Maybe in Thailand,
definitely.
they don't even know the difference.
No, some people will still ask me like, "Oh, are you from the US?" Or because they
Your
can't.
accent
Not everyone
is
can tell. If like you don't speak native English,
Right.
it might be more difficult to tell.
Yeah.
No.
Can you tell?
Yeah, no, for me, since you said like better,
Fair.
I was like, oh, or maybe I'm kind of like speak with like American all the time. That's why I like noticed, okay, this is not American, this is not Australian, this is like somewhere like
Yeah.
London or where.
Like even the vocabulary, like he came in and he asked for the bin, and that's just such a
Or would you
polite
say
way.
the trash can?
Yeah, it's like I feel like America is like so much more, like brash, or I don't know what the word is, but it's just like more less polite.
But the way you guys speak in Boston is probably more closer to the UK, right? Because you have such
Interesting.
a Irish kind of.
Yeah, so that's a very interesting observation. So Boston is famous for like a certain accent.
Unfortunately, this shithole has more fucking leaks than the Iraqi Navy.
Fuck yourself.
I'm tired from fucking your wife.
How's your mother?
Good, she's tired from fucking my father.
I don't have
you
it.
show
I
me
don't have it.
a
I don't have it
little?
because I'm not originally from Boston.
Oh, okay.
I'm originally from Rhode Island, the state of Rhode Island, which is halfway between Boston and New York. And we have our own accent there that's kind of a mix of New York and Boston.
Okay.
I don't have it now, but if I talk to my mom or if I get angry or something, that's when it comes out.
oh,
But you're right. The Boston accent is actually is derived from that British accent. But I'll tell you right now, it's it sounds disgusting.
You don't
compared
like it?
Oh, it's awful. And mostly because the people that, I'm going to get so much hate for this. The real like towny Boston people that have that thick accent, I think a lot of the time they're not the most like educated people. They're not in like such high professions. So I think when I hear that accent, you associate it with like a certain class of people.
I hear that.
Yeah. So I think it might be the same in the UK, but I don't know. Like I wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
To be honest though, in the UK, there's so many different accents.
Yeah.
Within London itself, you've got a couple of different ones. Cockney to, I don't know if you heard like Roadman, which
I
is
don't
more
know.
street. Then if you go like an hour up, you got the Birmingham accent. Go an hour up, you got Manchester. 20 minutes that way, you got Liverpool accent. Like it's very different,
Yeah.
and they all sound completely different.
Yeah.
Liverpool to London.
I can tell the difference, I think, between Manchester and London because London sounds very polite and proper. And when I think I know Manchester, it's more less proper. I don't know how to explain
can you
it.
show me?
Manchester accent. Manchester's kind of hard to just. Like, I'm from Manchester. I'm from Manny, and I'm from the city. It's kind of like inflected up.
Oh,
Liverpool is a bit more like from Liverpool. You know?
Yeah. So, but the London one is always so
interesting.
proper. So, coming to Thailand, how long have you been here now?
So this time 6 months.
Only 6 months.
Yeah.
And when was the first time you came here?
So I moved to Thailand 10 years ago. I moved to Chiang Mai.
Right. So you were young.
Oh yeah, I was 19.
Wow.
Yeah.
What made you decide to come out here?
So basically, this was a time where like in England, when you're like 18, 19, you apply for university. And I didn't get into the course that I wanted to study. So I told everyone, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go Thailand for like 3 weeks, chill out, and then
That's
I'll
what
come back.
everybody says.
And I knew I was never coming back.
Oh, you knew though.
Oh,
yeah.
100%
See, a
knew.
lot of
I
us
lied.
tell ourselves the lie, like, I'm just going to go for a few, and then we
Yeah.
get sucked in.
No, I
And
lied.
next thing you know, you're hosting a podcast with a girl named Ern. That's,
5 years later.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I knew, because if I told people, oh, I'm going to stay in Thailand, my mum would have tried to put me off, people giving all their opinions. I just didn't want to hear it. I was like, in my head, I'm going to Thailand. At the time, I was trying to do like drop shipping, and Chiang Mai was like the hub
Right,
for drop
right.
shipping. All the drop shippers was there. So I was just like, fuck it, let me just move. Oh, am I allowed to on here? My bad.
No, you can say whatever. It's okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just in my head like, yeah, go to Chiang Mai, meet some drop shippers, trying to get involved. And then, yeah, and on and off between that time, I probably was in Thailand for like a year and a half, 2 years.
So what year would that be?
2014.
Wow, it must have been so different.
To be honest, I went back to Chiang Mai like a couple of months ago. It's not as different.
Really?
Not really.
I feel like even in the 5 years I've been in Bangkok, it's changed a lot.
100%. Bangkok in 2015 is very different to now.
Oh.
It feels way more built up now,
Right.
for sure.
So you went back in 2014 for this drop shipping thing, which I've heard very similar things from a lot of people. So what happened?
I tried it. I did drop shipping. To be honest, man, I tried every single thing you could do to try and make money online. Drop shipping, Facebook ads, sales funnels, client work, Upwork, which some worked, some didn't. Kind of led me to like, okay, let me just try and do MMA, which kind of just led me on to like doing YouTube and music. So
Right.
that's when I'm talking like that full circle.
Were you
trying
doing the
everything.
MMA in Thailand? Did you start it there?
Yeah, so I moved from Chiang Mai down to Phuket, because
Okay.
Phuket is, I don't know if you know, they got like a
Yeah,
lot
well,
of
you're
Muay
running
Thai.
through all like the Thailand foreigner stereotypes.
Yeah.
Like first you went to Chiang Mai to
Yeah.
work on like an e-commerce business.
Yeah.
Then okay, that didn't work. So you go to Phuket to train MMA. So then
fight.
what's next after that? Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's when the music thing happened.
Okay.
hmm
So, but the MMA thing, like, what was that like training in Phuket?
It was fun. It was a great time. It was tough though, and I realized really early on, I can't do this. I just didn't have the mentality. When I see the fighters there, no, they just switch it on, and I always just couldn't switch it on like they could. I could do it, but I don't know. It's just a different mentality, I feel like. And when I really sat down and thought to myself, can I do 10 years in MMA and stick it out? It's gonna feel too much like a grind. Whereas like, can I do 10 years in music? So effortless. Let's just do
Yeah.
that.
We went to an MMA fight the other day.
Yeah.
Ern was the ring girl.
Oh yeah.
And first fight, immediately, like in the first 15 seconds, the guy got busted open above his eye. His
Damn.
whole eye was
Yeah.
swollen.
Yeah.
He won the fight, but his tooth got knocked out too.
Oh damn.
And he probably got paid like nothing, right? So can you imagine like going through all that just
Yeah.
for,
It's a tough life, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a foreigner, by the way. That wasn't even a Thai guy.
Mm.
So you're in Phuket.
hmm
The MMA thing's not working out, but you already started working on music.
Yeah. I was still like doing the online making money thing
Yeah.
on the side, because that's what was kind of like supplying my lifestyle, I guess. Allowing me to be able to do the Muay Thai and do
Yeah.
the jiu-jitsu.
What kind of budget were you on then, living in Phuket, and like, was this still 2014, 2015, or when is
This
this?
would have been 2015 now.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe like 1500.
Okay. I'm just wondering how much the cost of living has changed since then, especially in Phuket.
It's gone up because also the pound back in that time, it would have been 55 baht to £1, where now it's 44 baht to £1.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
So
that makes a
it's-
big difference.
Yeah, for sure. And things were maybe just a slightly bit cheaper, but not that much difference.
Really?
I feel like Bangkok is way more expensive though,
Yeah.
and Chiang Mai is actually not that much more expensive.
I've noticed the prices go up
Mhm.
a ton in the past 2 to 3 years, like kind of since the kind of end of COVID time.
Yeah,
And it's to the point now where I'm just kind of shocked all the time. Like people pay these prices, like especially Thai people.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I know there's a huge influx of foreigners coming in. And also I think, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like the Thai economy is growing with a lot of businesses coming here. But I think still it only can grow at such like so much until people can't pay it anymore.
yeah.
So $1,500 a month. So what would that be a year? Like
18, 20.
yeah. So
Something
like
like that.
let's say 20,000 US, or are you talking pounds? I guess it's similar.
To be honest, I was probably spending even less than that now that I'm trying to think about it. The training was probably the most expensive thing. But then I was renting a room, maybe 400 US a month back then. Yeah.
What part of Phuket were you in?
Chalong.
So long. Is that the southern, eastern side, southeastern side?
Southeast, yeah. I
Yeah.
think so.
That's where a lot of those gyms are, right?
Yeah, so there's a road, I think it's called Tiger Road.
Yeah.
And all the gyms are there, and I basically just lived on that road.
It's called Tiger Road because there's the Tiger Muay
Muay
Thai
Thai, yeah.
gym. That's the really famous one.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of foreigners come to Phuket and what do they think like, I want to be an MMA fighter. So they move to Phuket, and do you see them come and then also like leave like 3 weeks later because it's too much, or?
It's a mixture. It's very transient.
Yeah.
Because some people only come for like a fitness vacation, basically. They got 2 weeks off work. Let's just train because they love it.
Yeah, yeah.
You get some guys who maybe stay 3 months because they're training for a fight, so they're just preparing there.
Right.
Maybe a handful of people live there, to be honest with you. If there was a class of 50, maybe only like 5 of the people are living
Yeah,
there.
how many people are training at this gym you're at?
Back then it was popping. Phuket top team was popping, so you could get 30 to 50 people on a mat.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like in that situation, in Phuket, at these gyms, it's all foreigners, right? At these kinds of places?
Mainly, yeah.
Do you feel like you get enough attention from the coaches, or do you feel like you have to
Yeah.
kind of...
It back then, yeah.
Yeah.
I think because I was one of the ones that constantly turned up, I wasn't one that just came and then went the next day. I was like a member of the gym, I guess you could say.
Oh,
So
I
yeah.
know. It's like you're a resident or something.
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
So what does it cost to train full time back then?
I think it was 12,000 baht a month.
Okay.
10 to 12,000, I think. Yeah.
Okay. And how is it, like a 5-day a week thing, a 7-day a week thing, or what?
That was unlimited, I'm pretty sure.
But for you, like, what was your schedule?
Oh, my schedule, 2 times a day most days.
Every day.
Every day, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Saturday morning as well.
But why MMA? Why like you decided just MMA?
I was just a fan. Yeah, I just loved the sport. And I just thought, it was just one of those things where it's like, oh, I see that. I can do that too. But actually, I couldn't. Let's be real.
So do you have like a real fight?
No, I think I did jiu-jitsu. I focused mainly on jiu-jitsu competitions. So I think I did a few of those.
So yeah, before you decided to do the MMA thing, did you have any training?
Here and there, yeah.
Oh, you did?
I wasn't complete newbie, but I wouldn't say I was someone who was experienced.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, 'cause I used to actually train jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, maybe it's different now, but when I was doing it, a lot of people would start with one discipline, whether it's jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai or whatever, wrestling. And then if they want to do MMA, they start, okay, I'm going to learn something else to kind of round it out. And then now you're going to MMA. But I think a lot of people now, they start from scratch and then they just kind of learn different things all at once.
Yeah. And
So that's what you were like?
No, because I actually decided to really focus on jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Because I felt like at the time, my stand-up wasn't terrible. I could throw a punch, I could throw a kick. My Muay Thai was decent. I had been training Muay Thai before coming to Thailand. So, but I had no ground game. I didn't know jiu-jitsu or wrestling. We don't grow up wrestling in the UK. So I wanted to just get good at that for a while.
Okay. And what was the moment where you were like, oh, I can't do this?
Oh man, I remember a specific moment. So it was really competitive at Phuket top team. And the coaches would really like rile you up, like kind of gas you up. And he put me against someone. And it was one of those times where you actually like have to go for it. They really want you to fight. So we start going at it. We're warring. And I'm smashing the guy. But then I make a stupid, like silly move. And he catches me. So I have to tap. And then my coach is like screaming at me. And I'm just like, fuck. And I'm screaming. I'm banging the mat. I'm crying. And I'm thinking, nah, this is not it, bro. This is not the one. And
Right.
usually you should always be calm. It's just training. It's nothing serious, right? But I don't know. I just lost my cool. I was just so upset. I was so devastated. Like, how the hell did I lose to this guy? I was smashing him. And then the coach is just rubbing it in my face. I'm just like, nah, maybe this isn't it.
Yeah. And how long after this did you go back to the UK?
Oh man, I was on the road for a long time. I only went to live back in the UK when I was 24.
Okay.
So I was on the road for
So
about
you stayed
5 years.
in Thailand after this? for a while?
So I lived in a lot of places. Thailand, then I went to the US, Canada, Colombia for a bit.
Why did
Then
you decide to
Spain.
go to the US and Canada?
Because then I started getting heavily into the music, and I wanted to just go out there to network and meet people. And then I had some family in Canada, so I stayed out there for longer than I thought I was going to stay out there because I liked it. And then I ended up coming to England for 6 months and then moving to Spain.
Okay, wow. So it's interesting about your music career because it sounds like things happen very fast. And I feel like with music, like a lot of skills and disciplines, it takes time to develop.
Yeah.
So am I wrong, or did it really go pretty fast?
It didn't really go fast. I think actually it did take a long time, but as you can tell, you might be able to tell, I'm just like obsessive, man. Once I like decide something, then I kind of just, I'm in. Let's just go 100%. So once I said I was doing music, I'm doing music, whatever. If I need to meet this person, let's go. Let's try and figure it out.
Yeah. And at that time, what was your goal with music? Just to produce for other people, or?
Yeah, I wanted to produce for other people, but I really just wanted to start making a living from it as soon as I could.
What's the business model like? Like, do you come up with original stuff and then try to sell it to people, or do you find someone and then try to work with them in a collaborative way?
Many, many different ways, but I'd say the main way a music producer who works with artists gets their money, basically, let's say me and Drake jump in the studio, we make a song and he releases it. He'll give me an upfront payment called an advance. Could be a few thousand. It's really negotiable. But then on the back end, you'll get money in royalties and streaming and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, is it me, or is it not the best time to enter the music industry when Spotify and everything is becoming more popular?
It's not ideal. Let's say that.
Yeah.
But there is definitely a lot of money in music. There's a lot of money at the top and not a lot of money at the bottom. Yeah. But then there's also many other ways, like you could just do it as a service, let's say, and you run your own studio and you charge people for sessions when they come in and they want to record something, you could just charge them. Me, to be honest, it's mainly from like YouTube and selling my own products around music production and that kind of brand deals, that kind of.
Yeah, so that's a really interesting point because a lot of people in any art form complain that the world has changed over the past 10, 20, 40 years, whatever, especially something like music, but same with movies or anything else. But there's also a lot more opportunities in other ways, right? Because 20 years ago, even if you were awesome at, making music, it would probably be harder to get sponsorships and do brand deals and sell products and stuff like that. Like I was watching a video last night. It's the guy is a film videographer on YouTube. He shoots weddings, okay? So nothing like really sexy, but he did a brand deal with a cable company, Condor Blue. I don't know if you know them, but they make like audio cables, and they made him his own like branded kit for wedding filmmakers. Like this guy Condor Blue wedding kit, and it has these 4 cables that you always need, and it comes in this special case. So it's like that kind of stuff didn't exist, even 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
So when you started the music career, how long after that did you start posting online, like on YouTube, or I don't know what you started first?
Yeah, so I started with YouTube, and that was roughly a year and a half into making music that I decided to take YouTube seriously.
Yeah, see, that's cool because you get to see the whole
journey. Literally, if you go back to my first video, you'll see like the music is not good, the quality is terrible.
A lot of people would say, well, I don't want to post it publicly because I'm not that great. But I think people on the outside are interested in seeing the journey and the rise. Yeah. Except for me, because we were just talking before this, because I have another channel that you said you saw before.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, except for me, because nobody wants to watch me, when I suck. You guys watch this now, but you won't go watch the other channel. But yeah, so when you first started your YouTube, because by the way, how many subscribers does your YouTube channel have?
Just under 500K. We're approaching that now.
500K, yeah.
Yeah.
And especially for something that to me is kind of niche, like music production.
It is. I'm realizing that more and more is super niche.
Yeah.
500K for how many years now? Like
It's been a while, man. 7 years now.
7 years.
Yeah.
500K.
But that's still really incredible. I mean, because think about how many people are interested in. I mean, can you talk a little bit about what you do on your channel?
Yeah. So my channel is music production, but Okay, so I started off doing tutorials and just teaching people how to make beats, but now it's kind of evolved into something different where it's a bit of challenges, trying new things. It's a bit of me vlogging the life of a music producer and just showing my perspective. It's me sometimes as well, just working with artists and showing the creation process.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm just thinking like that's so incredible to build up that kind of audience for something that I feel like there's not many music producers out there. It's not like you walk down the street and just randomly, bump into them. And if you do, they're probably, I mean, I don't know the last time I met someone that's as serious as you into this kind of thing. So yeah, where do you think most of your audience is from?
In terms of like what they do?
I mean, like where in the world?
Oh, US.
US?
Yeah.
Really?
Because you can see on the analytics, so
Yeah,
it's
right.
US, UK, Germany, South Africa.
Do you think that's because the US is just a big country, or do you think that it's just for some reason in the US there's more people that are interested in this kind of thing?
That too, but also it's just way bigger than England. It's like 350 million people. England's only, I want to say like 20 or 30 mil. So it's literally like 10 times bigger.
Yeah. I don't know, because being in the US, we have these industries like Hollywood, we have a big music industry, we have all these things.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people think like, oh, I can be in that. Growing up in England, is it the same thing? Will people be like, oh, I want to move to Los Angeles and become a movie star, or I want to work in this, or does that exist or not really?
Yes and no. I think if you're in that world, you want to be an actor or something, then yeah. But I think US and UK mentality is just a slightly bit different. I feel like in the US, people dream a lot. And they have the confidence to do things. With the UK, some people do, but I don't think the majority do.
Yeah. And I noticed that also in Thailand a lot. I feel like being an American, I noticed that kind of mentality, that kind of feeling doesn't really exist here so much. I feel like, and Ern, tell me what you think about this. I feel like many Thai people, they feel like, well, whatever situation they have in life, that's kind of it.
Yeah.
And they just make the best of it. But not so often do they think, oh, I can get to the next level. Have you seen this, or do you agree or no?
About
Thai people mentality.
Yeah, mostly Thai people just enjoy what they have, but if it's some goal or something that's maybe quite looks like difficult or like far from them to reach that goal, they might just like, it's okay, we still can enjoy just this, like we don't need to be in rush to get into that goal, like no need, because we live in an easy life. Yeah, because for example, some of my friends just think like if we need to reach that goal, like some big goals like you guys have, they may think like you will have more responsibilities, more stressed. Yeah, sometimes it's just that. Yeah, but these pains, like not everyone.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm from the northeast part of the US, and there the culture I think is different than other places like the South or some other places. In the Northeast, especially, people are very like hustle, let's go.
Yeah.
So and Ern can see this because we'll talk sometimes, and like I think sometimes I'm a little too intense.
I was like,
I'm
you have us. Oh, calm down.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sabay,
step by step, sabay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, because maybe it's about like culture, like Thai people, or about like the education that is kind of limit our like what we can do. Like sometimes we just like not confident enough to do that.
Yeah.
Or for example, you guys maybe like after 18, you guys might got a chance to like do work, like get a job. You don't need to continue with the college.
Yeah.
But for Thai people, if you don't like finish like bachelor degrees or university, they maybe don't think like you are like good enough to work for someone. Like you maybe have less experiences. So it's like Thai people don't really get a chance to do work in the real world earlier like you. So they need like to finish work, like finish school like 23, and after that they can like try to see things in the real life.
Like, would it be common in a place like Thailand for someone that's 18 to say, oh, I want to be a musician, or I want to have a music career?
No, it's like, for example, me, I graduated from high school at 18. I'm thinking like, should I continue the college or should I find some work to do first? Because I want to figure out what I want to do. Like, what is my dream? What is my goal? Because in your country, you can start doing some work like after 18, right? But me, I try to apply for a job, no chance, no
Wow.
experience, no.
I don't think in the US, and I don't know about UK or Europe, but in the US, you can't really get any decent job without a
Yeah, I
college.
mean, like, for example, when I was in US, even like you are 15 years old, you at least you get a job as a game operator.
Oh yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
something
Yeah.
like at least you can try to do some work, some job. But in Thailand, if you're 15, no chance to do work. You maybe you can do just like washing the dishes.
Oh,
just
you can't be
that.
a server in a restaurant or something?
You cannot.
Oh, I didn't
You
know that.
cannot. Or like 18. Okay, I tried 15. I cannot. 18. Maybe I can do some work in the pizza company. I cannot. No
Yeah. Oh, wow.
experience. Yeah.
I started working at 14, scooping popcorn at a movie theater.
Yeah, even some
Yeah.
little job, I cannot do that. That's why I feel like, they limited our age and like, so we're not have enough experience. We're not confident enough to reach a higher goals.
Oh, so what you're
Okay.
saying is if you were allowed to do some work experience
Yeah.
earlier,
Yeah.
maybe you could have some bigger goals
Yeah,
by
you
the time
have
you're 18 or 20.
more experience earlier. You can like, have some skills since you're still young. But no, you're not allowed to do that. You just keep studying. If you finish high school, you should or like you really should study,
I see.
continue college, and like that. Okay, start to work, and once you try to think about being a music producer, you kind of a little bit like getting old, like 24, 25, and like you start like a little bit late. So that, yeah, Thai.
Did you go to university?
Nah, I didn't go in the end.
How is that in the UK? Do most people expect you to go to university?
Back then, yeah. I think now because of social media, people are
Right.
seeing what's possible.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's less like, oh, you didn't go. But back then,
They judge you if you don't go.
yeah, man, I think like going to university is something prestigious.
Yeah. I mean, my feeling on that is, especially now when information is out there for free, like on YouTube, on Google, I
Yeah.
think university is a lot less valuable.
Mhm.
I mean, if you're going for something like if you want to be a lawyer or some hard science or something like that, totally understand.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people, what's really the reason to go to university? For the piece of
Yeah.
paper?
I agree. I think it's becoming, people starting to see that it's becoming like an outdated model. Back, 10 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, to get the big jobs, you kind of needed that piece of paper.
Yeah.
But people are seeing like what's possible with the internet, with social media now. So
Mhm.
yeah, let's maybe if you want to still go and you don't want to be a doctor, but you just want to go, it's just for the vibes and the
Parties?
experience. Yeah.
Maybe it's about like which career path that you really want to go. If like some job you really still really need like the bachelor degrees for the qualification, but maybe as a music producer you maybe just need experience for the music, like keep doing that.
Yeah.
You might not need to graduate from a specific like college or school for that music producer.
Yeah, I think that's for most creative fields, to be honest with you. Especially in music, like no one's gonna be in the studio looking up like, where did he go? Did he go Harvard?
Right.
Oh, he didn't go Harvard. I can't work with him. It's not like that. It's literally like, it's all just who have you worked with? What's your clout? That kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't really work in music.
Yeah. So take me back to Phuket though, because I really want to understand this point where, okay, the MMA thing didn't work out. You're doing the music, but there must be a point in your music career where you think like, I know you said in the beginning you thought, oh, I'm going to do this, but where you thought, okay, now it's happening. Because I'm assuming
Okay.
you didn't just move to the US on a
No,
hope.
so I went to the US. I probably ended up staying 6 months there or so, kind of just meeting people and stuff like that. But because I think I was just too new, I was too early for me in that stage.
Where did you
wasn't-
go in the US?
I went to Atlanta. I went to LA for maybe like a week or two because I was meant to go to some event, which was all, like a music production event, but it didn't happen. And then I went to Atlanta because back then the trap scene was huge and I had family there, so I could just crash there for a while. And I kind of got into it a little bit. To be honest with you, I don't really like staying too long in the US. Like, it's just not my vibe.
Well,
But-
hold on, I'm gonna ask you about that. Wait, no. You seem like you want to get off that topic fast, but that's why I want to know. So, what is it that you didn't like? Just be totally open.
I just feel,
Yeah.
I don't know. First, I don't know, bro. This just, it felt weird that everyone around me had a gun and I didn't. I felt kind of like lacking.
Wait, but hold on a second. What city were you in?
Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta specifically.
All my cousins had guns and they were
Yeah.
just shooting it off, and I was just like,
Oh.
Yeah.
that kind of vibe.
Wait, where do you mean they were shooting it off?
Yeah, I remember it was like July the 4th and everyone's just like pow, pow, pow in the air. And I'm just
Everybody
like,
can have it.
Wait, but you've seen rap music videos, right?
yeah, but
So
still.
you
like,
thought it was fake?
Still, it was just crazy. And then I even went to a gun range and shot one. I was
Yeah.
just like, man, this feels, someone could just, I don't know, just
Yeah.
turn around and be like, fuck it. Let's just off this guy. I don't know. I felt unsafe.
Okay, cue the comments
Everything-
down below. Everybody has a strong opinion
I
on
tell
that.
you what, though, I do like places like New York and that, but Atlanta just felt, everywhere besides New York kind of just feels very spread out. You need to have a car to get anywhere. I do like the fact that everyone does have a go-getter mentality, but at the same time, I just feel like I'm being marketed to all the time.
Ah,
Just, I don't know. But yeah, I like going to visit, doing my business, and then
yeah.
heading out. So yeah, I did that thing, just kind of moving around a bit. But then I realized that if I actually want to do something with music, I think the internet is really the way to go. I'm seeing artists blow up out of nowhere, just in random places, different corners of all over the world. Guys from Sweden who are going big, guys from the like random parts of the US going big, and they're doing it through like YouTube and SoundCloud back in those days. So I just thought to myself, man, why not just give it a shot? Nothing's really happening with the music yet. So let's just see what happens if I start posting myself on YouTube. And I saw a couple of other guys doing it. They started doing really well. So I thought, okay, now's the time.
It's interesting you said that because I had an epiphany during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody was locked up. And I remember thinking like, in the future, if I want to work on a business, I'm not going to do something in the physical world. Because when you think about any business, people would always say it's really, the location is very important. Like if you're doing like, let's say a cafe or any kind of store, location is so important. What I realized is now people spend most of their time here in the internet, not in the physical world. So if I was building a business, I would want to build my business in the internet, not so much worry about the physical world. So it's exactly like you said, you could be in any part of the globe. You can be in Alaska in an igloo.
Yeah.
But if you're streaming, if you're making fire music, if you're getting yourself out there through the internet, it doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah.
So when you had this realization, where did you go after that?
So I bounced around a little bit. I did come back to Thailand for like 6 months just because my mindset at the time was, okay, let me just put in many, many hours into music production, just the craft itself, whilst living as cheaply as possible so I don't have to worry about money. So I came back to Chiang Mai, did my thing there. Then I realized if I really want to take YouTube seriously, I kind of need to dedicate like a lot of time and be in one place. So I came back to England for a couple of months just to kind of get that together, get that idea of the YouTube stuff, my camera, my equipment, all that kind of stuff. And then I ended up moving to Spain because I met a Spanish chick. We kind of was together for a while, moved to Spain, and I lived in Spain for like a year and a half.
Oh, so the girls always derail your plans, huh?
At the time.
Always.
But that was a good move for me because I was finally settled. I knew like, okay, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Now I can really go after YouTube. Like not every day, but at the time it was like every other day, every few days I'm uploading. Just consistency.
Yeah. What kind of videos are you making at this time?
Tutorials, mainly tutorials. Yeah.
So like, give me an example of one.
So it would just be teaching people how to make your drums using Logic Pro, for example, or how to make a beat in the style of Playboy Carti, something like that.
Oh yeah, I bet that does really well in like the SEO.
Back then, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
But may I ask, like, before you really start like doing a like music producer, like, do you have any basics? Like you said, you love to listen to the music, but
Yeah.
do you know any basic how to produce the music?
I learned everything from YouTube.
Everything.
Everything.
It's
But,
not like
before
you
don't
did you
know
play any
anything?
instruments or no before?
To a very basic level.
Yeah.
You
You
couldn't
didn't-
give me a guitar and be like, play this.
Well, you
I
didn't
can do
take
that.
like flute in elementary school.
No, I did a bit of piano, but actually, when I did come back to Thailand that time, I actually took piano lessons in Thailand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's gonna be an interesting experience.
YouTube again, huh?
Wait, I'm wondering, do they use the same
Like notes and stuff.
vocabulary?
Yeah.
How does it work?
Yeah,
Is it
was
like
the
A,
same.
B, C, D, E?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, they taught in English anyway.
Yeah. But I would just think the system would be slightly different, or they'd call it something different.
Don't know.
No.
Maybe they do for the Thai students, but
Mm.
they taught me all in English.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But you ended up in Chiang Mai,
Mhm.
and you're like, okay, now I'm gonna grind.
Yeah, so I grinded on music in Chiang Mai, and then when I moved to Spain, I grinded on YouTube.
Oh, interesting. Because I guess it's kind of two different things. Because if you're making tutorials, that's not you working on your own music, but it's
No.
kind of you. What's the word? Like working on your publicity, career,
definitely.
like marketing.
It was two different brains. Music production was just all creativity, whereas like YouTube, creativity, but then a bit of strategy, a bit of business, a bit of marketing, you know.
And I think you know this now, but many artists I think will complain that often the people that get the most business, that are most well known, are not necessarily the best at that craft. Because like if you asked me who the best guitar player is, let's say,
Mhm.
it's not anybody would know. It's some guy who lives in his mother's basement and
Yeah.
just plays guitar nonstop, but nobody knows him. But think about how many I like to watch those drummers on YouTube that do like covers.
Oh yeah, the cover
And
guys.
some of them are really good. And some of them are, you're like, why is anybody watching this guy? But
Yeah.
they're very big and they probably get a lot of brand deals, a lot of jobs, a lot of opportunities just because they're well known.
Yeah,
And that doesn't necessarily correlate with their skill.
yeah,
So, but if you can have both of those things, if you can develop the skills and become well known, that's an awesome formula. And I
Yeah,
think that's
100%.
what's happened with you.
I think that's what makes it sustainable as a business or a lifestyle or something, you know.
Did you have a particular video on YouTube that just went off?
Yeah,
What was it?
the first one to go viral for me was my younger brother learning how to make beats. He made a beat for the first time.
How old was he in the video?
14. Yeah.
Oh, so that's interesting. Like a 14-year-old making a beat.
I think it was the dynamic of me just being like shocked while he's creating and being like, oh my gosh, he's actually kind of sick. I didn't expect this. Just me and him bouncing. Because we've done videos since then and they've all done well because I think it's just our dynamic on camera.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you I don't know, you just try things and something goes off. Like
Yeah,
me and
literally.
Ern. I met her and I told the story on one of the last show, I think, or one of the last ones. I just met her in a restaurant.
Hmm.
Like we've only known each other like 2 months. But I said, oh, let's try it. First video on Instagram, 1 million views.
Whoa.
Second video, 1 million. Right, nah, 1 million. It's
Wow.
like, yeah. So I was
So
like,
you was
okay.
just onto something from the beginning.
Yeah,
now.
I don't know. I think
I
we.
didn't expect that. I thought like because like I'm tired, like the podcast is English,
Yeah.
and I'm like, of course, I'm not like 100% like very good at English, so I'm kind of nervous. Like, is it gonna be good? Or
Mhm.
even like I joined this podcast and you're the guest, and I'm still thinking like, is it gonna be good? People gonna like it or not? But just keep doing and
Yeah.
let's see what's gonna happen.
Yeah. But I know what you mean because sometimes you just find like a formula that works or something clicks in. So how long did it take for you to start making significant money on YouTube? And I don't know what that means to you, but
So I probably started making like money to live off a year and maybe like a year and a half.
really that's it. Only a year and a
Yeah.
half. How many videos did you post up until that point?
Probably at least 200.
And 200 videos in a year and a half.
Yeah, I was really uploading a lot back then.
Wow.
I think
Wow.
back then the algorithm kind of favored those who
Yeah,
were
sure.
consistently uploading and uploading often. It's a change now. It's not really like that. But back then it was about volume for sure.
Wow. And now with your channel,
Hmm.
I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but if you wanted, that could be your whole livelihood. Like just YouTube alone, forget
Yeah.
anything else. You could probably make a career just out of that. No?
Yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
think YouTube is definitely viable as a career for creators. It
Yeah.
can be if you run it smartly, yeah.
What do you think about this? Because I had this conversation with someone. He said he wants to be a YouTuber.
Yeah.
And what I tried to tell him is that's the wrong mentality. I think what people want to see is not a YouTuber. They want to see someone who has a passion or is a profession in something specific, but then they just show that to their audience through YouTube. So like for you, you're not a YouTuber. You're a music producer, but
Depends
you
who you
connect.
ask, actually.
What?
Depends who you ask.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying this is the way I look at it
Yeah.
anyway. But the way you connect with people is through YouTube.
Yeah.
But if YouTube didn't exist, I'm sure it would be something else. Maybe it would be Instagram. Maybe it would be whatever the next platform is. It's just a tool to reach an audience. But yeah, what do people take you seriously, or do people ever take you less seriously?
Yeah, definitely.
Because they think, oh, you're just like a YouTube guy.
100%. In the music industry, 100%. There's moments where people look at you and be like, he's just the YouTube guy, he's not serious. But then you get other people as well who are like, nah, I've watched all your videos on YouTube. I've learned how to produce for you. And they've gone on to do amazing things. So they embrace you a bit more. So yeah, it's like both, really.
I think one big benefit of having so much content on YouTube is that people feel like, people that you've never met feel like they get to know you.
Yeah.
And they maybe trust you more. So by the time you do meet them, it's easier to work together maybe.
Yeah, 100%. Because even though I do YouTube as a creator, I consume a lot of YouTube as well. So I've watched tons of people, and when I've met them, I was like, dude, I know you. Like last week you was vlogging in Miami. Like, I know you. But yeah, it's a strange one in a way, because they have no idea who you are.
Yeah, exactly. I've had
And
that
people
experience.
have come up to me and been like, bro, remember when you did this? And I'm like, actually, no, I don't. But yeah, that's how it is.
So it's like all your videos, like about the tutorial vlogs, or
Yeah.
your music is on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
But you also live in Thailand. Are you doing like DJ, something like that as
Yeah.
well? Because I have my friends who being a music producer before, he never think about like being a DJ, but
Yeah.
it's kind of making easy money, like like for a couple hours and then you get lots of money. Are you do that?
It can be easy money. I've just started crossing over into the electronic world. So I did a festival last year, and it kind of got my feet wet a little bit, I'd say.
What do you mean you did a festival?
So I performed as a DJ at a festival.
Okay,
In
so
the UK.
is that a newer thing for you, or?
Yeah, because my channel and what most people know me for is more for hip hop production, working with artists and that kind of vibe. But then I'd say like 2022, I used to hate electronic music. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Why didn't you like it?
I didn't get it. I didn't understand why you would go to a rave and just hear until one
That's what I
day.
feel.
Until one day, I went and I got it, and I was like, "Oh, damn, this is incredible!" And then I just kind of slowly start getting into it, start making a bit of house.
So
Then
can
now
you
it's
name
here.
a few people that you like listening to?
In terms of electronic music,
Yeah.
More Grab, Ketama. This is like underground kind of techno, Skin on Skin. Don't know if you heard of these guys.
No.
Nah.
I have no
I'm
idea.
actually into I'm outing myself. I'm into trance music.
Oh yeah, I like.
But I
trance
feel
too.
like it's not cool. So that's why I don't tell anybody.
Oh no, I
But
love
sometimes I'll
trance.
find people and
Yeah.
I can tell like, oh, you're one, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah, man. To be honest, I love all kinds of music, but electronic music specifically, I kind of been getting into it, and I really enjoy making it. So got into that lane a bit more.
So you were in Chiang Mai. I'm just trying to understand your path here.
Yeah,
So you were in Chiang Mai working on your music career.
yeah,
In Europe, you were focusing more on YouTube.
yeah.
So tell me, when did you, what year was it when you left Thailand and then came back?
So I left Thailand initially 2017 to move to, was it 2017? Yeah, 2017 I left Thailand. I was in US until the end of 2017. Went to England first for like 3 to 6 months, something like that. Then 2018, the whole of 2019, I was in Spain. Just as COVID hit, I moved back to London because that was the next stage of my career where I was like, okay, I'm doing YouTube, I'm doing the music. But for me to like progress further, I need to be in London now to kind of establish myself within the music industry, if that makes sense. Like start working with artists, have a studio, that kind of vibe.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that because I would think that a city like Bangkok, 10 million people, so many people, would be a hub for all kinds of people, including musicians.
Mm-hmm.
I asked Bottom G this about like, oh, is it good for a music career? And he said, actually, no. At least
Yeah.
for him, it's like not great being here.
Yeah.
You being in Bangkok, do you feel like it helps your music career at all or not really? Because most people are just Thai. And they're
I
not
think it's not going to help most people's careers, no. But it also depends on what your goal is or what you want. So if you're trying to be more in the industry and work with artists, it's way more beneficial for you to be, or frequently at least, go to an LA or a London. Well, London is like the hub of English music, British music. If you want to work in the pop world, you should probably be there. If you want to be in the pop world in the US or even hip hop, you should probably think about an LA, possibly an Atlanta. But I'm more internet based and I'm more just really doing my own thing.
So you're picking Bangkok not because of music career, but just because you like it here.
Because I like it here for music, but in a different way. I'm more internet. All my stuff is on the internet. I'm not really trying to be tied down to a city, to a scene, because I've done that. I'm not really trying to do that. I'm trying to just do my YouTube thing, and build everything online. So you can be anywhere for that. You don't have to be in a LA. I think LA, London is really for like if you're trying to do the industry stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. I agree. Yeah. Because like I said, I mean, with the internet, you can be anywhere all the time.
Yeah.
And you said you film out of your apartment, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have like a 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
And what do you just bring your camera and you're like, what do you work on? Like a laptop? Do you have a computer setup?
So I got my laptop, which is the heart of everything. And then I shipped over a couple of synths and a couple of music instruments and stuff.
Yeah. But no longer do you need some big console, big ass computer, something like that.
That's the extras.
Yeah.
You just need your laptop, really.
Yeah. Do you still use Logic or do you?
Yeah, always.
Only Logic.
I can use others, but my preference is Logic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself staying in Thailand long term, or do you think you'll just bounce to another place?
For now, but not long term now.
Okay. What has your experience been here? You seem very... you're interesting because you seem very, from my initial impression of you, very like reserved, polite, and I feel like a lot of the music people I meet, like a lot of those kinds of interesting people, because my business, you don't know this, I don't think, my business in the US, we produce EDM shows.
Oh, nice.
And I feel like everybody you come across is a very big personality and I don't want to say like big ego, but you know, they're entertainers. So, but you're the complete opposite of that. So I'm just curious, like your experience here of interacting with like other people, other foreigners, other people in the music industry, maybe like what has your experience been like here?
Here it's been completely fine, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's been calm. I'm a chill guy. I kind of gravitate towards like chill people. So
do you go out and party at all, or
sometimes? Not often though.
Where do you like to go?
Baccarat. I like Baccarat. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh no!
Baccarat is a vibe.
See?
So almost every episode. I don't know if you saw it. Like I'll ask people where to like to go.
Yeah.
I kid you not. The last like 3 episodes, everybody is saying Baccarat.
And me and the first one who mentioned first, and people like just like I heard this like 3 times, 4 times. But it's just the answer from the guest.
Crazy.
It's funny because someone on Instagram they'll put like, "Oh, this is so obviously sponsored." Like I just asked him where he likes to go out. He's I can't. So
it's a good vibe there for sure.
Oh, okay. And any particular night? Because I know Tuesday is hip hop. I don't know what the other nights are.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
You only like Tuesday?
Yeah, I like hip hop.
To be honest, I've mainly gone on Saturdays.
Yeah? What kind of music is it?
Like tech house.
Okay. Interesting. What is the crowd like in there on a Saturday? Is it foreigners, Thai people?
I'd say quite a mix, to be honest with you. Yeah. It's quite evenly split from what I remember. Yeah.
Okay. Where else do you like to go out?
I do like Baccarat. Checked out Sway. That's a hip hop club. That's quite good.
Yeah.
In Tonglo.
Sway.
Yeah.
Have
you been there?
Next to opposite to Terra, next to Lava.
Yes. That's a good club.
Why do you like it? Like, what makes a good club to you?
Sway had a good DJ on at the time. He just came in and killed it, and they were playing good music. The vibe was good. Baccarat, I just like the ambience as well. You know, like the lighting, the details, the music, the vibe. Like I've been to other places and the vibe is just not great. You know.
That's a lot of it in nightlife is the atmosphere.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pieces that fit together. So I get what you mean. If you were a first timer in Thailand, let's say you just got here a week ago and you're a foreigner, where would you suggest that person goes out? Would it be the same, or would you suggest someplace different?
Depends. If you like, well, I didn't even know they did a hip hop night, but now if they do a hip hop night, you should go on a Tuesday to Baccarat, or if you like tech house, go on a Saturday. People love Sugar Club. If you wanna go to listen to hip hop, go Sugar Club. I don't really vibe with it, to be fair.
Yeah, and this is another one that comes up a lot. So yeah, so you mentioned Sway, which is a hip hop club, which you said you like.
Yeah.
Hip hop. I mean, Sugar is another hip hop club. But what's the difference, and why do you maybe not like Sugar as much?
I didn't like the music that was being played.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you been more than once or just once?
I've been twice.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
I think I know what you mean. Some nights, depending on who's there, like who they have as the DJ, can make a huge difference. I feel like it's not as consistent there as some other clubs where when you go, you're going to get a certain experience. Some nights, I think it highly depends on who they book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you like Afro beats, Bobo, which is no, not Bobo. Sorry, what's the one beneath?
Bathros.
Yeah.
Yeah, below. Yeah.
But they got some good like EDM clubs that are, I don't know what the area is called, but there's one called like Onyx Space something.
RCA. Yeah.
Yeah, RCA. Around there, they seem to bring like bigger DJs there, which is cool. I went to a James Hype show there, which was really, really
Oh
good.
yeah. I saw he was here.
Yeah. The rooftop bars that I'd recommend. The rooftop bars are really cool here in
What
Bangkok.
rooftop bar do you like?
Tachuka in
Okay.
T1. That's nice. To be honest, just any though. They're all
Yeah.
kind of like a nice vibe.
Not many rooftop bars in London.
They are, but
The weather's not as good.
The vibe here is nice, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, the rooftop bar thing here is a special thing.
Yeah.
I never experienced something like that until I came here.
The scenery and everything.
Yeah, the sunsets here, incredible.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it is. Actually, I do know now. I learned it's the pollution.
Mm-hmm.
The pollution in the air makes the sunsets look amazing because the light is being scattered more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's so orange. I don't know, Ern. This was like a spur of the moment thing. I knew you would be an interesting guy. That's why I wanted to come have you here, because I was telling you before we started, people have this idea of what Thailand is like, who's here, what kind of people come here.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they stereotype the types of foreigners that come here.
Yeah.
And they don't know that there's all different kinds of people in this city. People that are entrepreneurs, people that are, musicians, people that are doing all kinds of things. So a lot of people come here to like work on their dreams. And it's not just the people that are here to go to Nana Plaza.
Yeah, I think Bangkok is one of those places where it's kind of got whatever you want or whatever you want to make of it. Like if you're a party guy and you want to be out every single night and you like drinking and that, then you
We
can
know
do
that guy. His name is Jason. If that was a previous episode.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. He said he just doesn't. He just waits until nighttime to go out and party every night.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
That's like, it's perfect for that. But if you're a guy that's like super healthy, wants to eat healthy, wants to go to the gym, you got that scene as well. For me, like the music, the YouTube kind of stuff, I've got that scene. Like you can fit in. Do you know what I mean? There's a bit for everyone.
Yeah. Since you've done so well at YouTube, and I know a lot of people that come to Thailand want to do something with YouTube or social media, any advice for those people that want to get started with that?
Consistency. I mean, I know it's a basic kind of term and everyone just throws it around, but I think like when you was saying before the podcast, you were saying you posted every single day and you're seeing the growth is crazy. I think that's key. You just have to really be on it, put your intention behind it, do it maybe it's not every day, but routinely. It's just got to be who you are. You upload content on a regular basis. And then see if you can apply some strategy behind it too. Maybe there's a trend that you can jump on and make something happen from that and just be yourself, honestly, really. And you attract your audience to come to you.
All right. Good advice. If people want to see more of you, if they want to see what you're working on, what's like the latest thing you've put out? What's it called? If someone wants to see a track or something, some of your work.
Just go to my YouTube channel. I'm always uploading videos.
Okay.
Follow me on Instagram, Apple by Ocean. Most of my stuff nowadays is a lot of electronic music, techno music. If you're vibing with that and you want to come on that journey as I'm starting to DJ and get gigs and stuff like that, come and check it out.
Yeah, I will check it out. Let's see. I'm gonna like techno or electronic.
Hopefully
On.
you become a converter. We'll
Let's
see.
see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
If you guys want to see more of what's happening in Bangkok, of the cool people that are hanging out at Baccarat on Saturday nights, hit the subscribe button, buy us a drink below, and we will see you in the next one.